you all, it's Oz. I just wanted to do a live broadcast. So this is actually going on Twitter and YouTube at the same time. And I just wanted to basically have a quick chat about the things that I've been hearing in the news lately. So the two things that have made me want to come and do this sort of video live broadcast rather than my usual, which is in-depth look at everything and then I write everything down and then I give you my concepts and ideas. I want to just talk about the news that has hit me, and I don't know if it's hit everyone, because unfortunately a lot of the stuff that we see is stuff that's suppressed. We don't hear about it, and it's definitely not in the mainstream media. We're not allowed to see those things. So 2 days ago, I saw a video of a Golani brigade soldier, and he's testified that they were ordered to stand down from 5:20 in the morning on the 7th of October till 9 o'clock in the morning. So how is it that they get them to stand down? So there was no patrols, no engagement allowed during the Hamas border breach. So there is a reason why that this is happening. And the reason this is happening is because the security forces in Israel, which are some of the brightest minds when it comes to this kind of intelligence work, has actually been, used as a mechanism to turn around and say they were blinded. They didn't know what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. They allowed this to happen. And the point I'm trying to make to you here is that there wasn't a failure of systems. It wasn't an intelligence failure. This was all part of an actual operation that was taking place. This was an operation to allow the Israeli security forces to stand down at 5:20, and the attack takes place at 6:38 or 6:41. Hamas goes across the border. Why then? How is it that they were told to stand down at 5:20 in the morning? Why were they told to stand down at 5:20 in the morning? You've got to ask those questions. Why are they doing it? Is it because they need the excuse of hundreds of people dying or even thousands of people dying? So they've got witnesses and accounts of things that allow Israel to then carry out its plan. And its plan is to do what it's doing right now. It's to start the ethnic cleansing of Gaza, to get rid of the Palestinians, to collectively punish absolutely everyone. Directly, everyone that they can, because that's how Israel does things. They have murdered their way through more children in this last 2 years in a conflict than pretty much any other conflict or combination of conflicts that have taken place that we know of in this last century. Direct result of just wanting to kill kids. This is Israel. This is what people need to understand. This is what you're dealing with. This is strategic use of the Hamas attack and the breakout of Hamas to give them the ammunition and the currency with which to spill the blood of Palestinians and to turn around and say, look, we are the victims of a crime here. You're not the victims of fuck all. You've done this. You have caused this. You've allowed this to happen on your watch. And then you've got one ex-prime minister saying, Olmert saying that what Netanyahu's doing in Gaza is immoral, illegal. Mate, we're beyond immoral and illegal. You guys are doing fuck all. You're not going to do anything ever. All you're going to do is just allow it to happen. And then I've got Keir Starmer standing up yesterday or the day before. We are going to recognize Palestine as a state. And where everyone's going like, yes. And then he goes, but only if Israel doesn't do X, Y, and Z. But what's the only if thing for? What's it got to do with Israel? Do the Palestinian people don't have a right to exist as a human group of people? They have to be just they have to. They don't exist because Israel will do X, Y, and Z. How the fuck does that work? The Palestinians have a right to exist. They have a human rights. You wouldn't have thought so by the way Israelis do this to them. You wouldn't have thought so by the way the Americans give them the weaponry and the finance to do it. You wouldn't have thought so by the way all the West is ignoring human rights and putting them to one side because it's Israel doing it. If it had been any other country that had murdered as many kids as these people have, that have murdered as many journalists as these people have, that have murdered as many doctors as these people have, that have flattened as many hospitals as these people have, that have destroyed every single mosque, every single school, every university, they would have been sanctioned to hell and back. But it's Israel, the eternal victim. You know, let's remember the Holocaust. And you know, these guys are the victims of a Holocaust. I don't give a fuck about the Holocaust anymore. You're doing the Holocaust right now. You are literally committing a Holocaust, and everyone knows that you are, but everyone's caging around the word. Well, it's not really genocide because, you know, it's not the legal definition of genocide. And I come to my second point, and my second point is a 25-year veteran of the Special Forces, a former Green Beret, an officer of an American, like from the academy, from whatever it is. We've got our, what's it called? What's it called? I can't remember. Anyway, it's the American version of our military school, who's turned around and said, I was asked and hired to go to this, to be part of this organization which is trying to feed people in Gaza. And I watched the Tucker Carlson video, and I would highly recommend you go and watch this video that Tucker Carlson has done. It's so important, because if we don't believe a soldier like him and his eyewitness statement of what's happening there, then we need to give up. We need to just accept the fact that the rules of engagement, of laws, international, everything, international war crimes, they are not made for everyone, and some people are above those rules and regulations. It's like George Orwell said about the pigs at the end of Animal Farm. Some people are above the law, effectively. If that is the world that we're going to live in, where people are allowed to commit genocide, murder people, and get away with it, then that's the world we live in, and that's what we have to accept. Then let's not call it what it is, which is supposed to be a liberal democracy. Let's call it a fascist world that we live in, with the fascists that are winning, but they smile at you as they cut you with 1,000 cotton balls so you don't feel your neck being cut. That's what they're doing. They're cutting the throat of humanity with cotton so we don't feel it slowly every day. This soldier is someone that I believe. This soldier is a 25-year veteran, and he's telling us that people come into these places and they've got 4 feeding stations. 4. There used to be 400 of them. And these 4 are placed right at the most southern part of Gaza. Right at the most southern part of Gaza. They're nowhere near the middle. They're nowhere near the north. And in his interview with Tucker Carlson, he says, Tucker Carlson goes, so how do these people eat? He goes, I don't know. He doesn't know how the people in North Gaza are able to eat. And now we've got these airdrops being done. They have basically murdered their way through, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people. We don't know how many people have been killed. No one knows how many people have been killed. And I don't know if we ever will know, because Israel is not letting any journalists inside of the area. There are no international journalists that go there. The only people that go in there are the Douglas Murrays, who you might as well give a rifle to and ask him to go and kill more children as a journalist, and he'd be happy to do it for you. Those are the people they bring with them. People who are Israeli bots. They are there literally to report the news as the propaganda armor of the Goebbels of the Israeli IDF. It is sickening to see an American soldier turn around and tell us how they are. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what was said by Tucker Carlson interview, but I beg of you, I urge you to go and look at the last 2 days worth of videos by Tucker Carlson. His latest one today is with Candace Owen, but the one before was with a guy called Tony Aguilera. You need to watch that. You need to spend an hour and 25 minutes of your life to understand how America has been brought into disrepute and how sick this soldier feels that his government is involved in this whole situation, how his government is absolutely complicit. I had such high hopes with Donald Trump. I mean, honestly, I thought this guy is going to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. He is going to drain the swamp. He is going to explode this whole establishment shit. And he came in with a trumpet of, I am Trump. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. They've brought him in. They've sat his ass down and told him what's fucking what. And he is completely deflated. He does whatever Israel tells him to do. He is the president of the pedophiles. And I'm going to call him the president of pedophiles because what he is doing is he's defending the pedophile elites. Whether they're Israelis' assets or whether they're American assets. But all of these pedophiles have been protected by Donald Trump. And this was supposed to be the guy that drains the swamp. Donald, you are the fucking swamp. You are now the swamp. You are the king of this swamp, Donald Trump. And I understand. You're scared shitless because they've got videos of you. They've got you compromised. And that's the world we live in, where the Prime Minister of Britain has got 3 rent boys from Ukraine, and we're not allowed to find out anything about them. Not a single newspaper mentions it, but podcasters do mention it. George Galloway mentions it. There's no traction in the news because they're not allowed to talk about it because it's a matter of national security. Why is there 3 rent boys from Ukraine a matter of national security for us as a nation? Is it because our Prime Minister is compromised? Is that why we saw a video of a supposedly supposed to be a Keir Starmer with Lord Ali kissing him with a video picture taken of them? I mean, is all of the West's leaders compromised pricks? Is that the world we live in? And we as the British nation have to sit here under the yoke of these motherfuckers? Under the Donald Trumps, under the Keir Starmers, who ain't got a ball sack between them to do the right thing. It is fucking obvious to anyone that's watching what's happening in Gaza that it is immoral. It's beyond any measure of evil that's taking place. How are we not sending airplanes to bomb the fuck out of Israel? How are we not dismantling the equipment that is causing all of this death? If it was any other country that was bombing people into oblivion, we would be moving heaven and earth to stop that. But because it's Israel, the masters of the fucking universe, they get to tell us what to do. They get to tell our governments what to do. They bring shame on every single Briton. They bring shame to every single American. And I'm talking about the ones that have got a beating fucking heart, that are watching what's happening and feel absolutely helpless, that they cannot do anything about what's happening to their country, what their country is doing in their fucking names. We are a democracy that is no longer got any elected representatives that gives a fuck about us and how we feel. We've got a handful of MPs, literally a handful of MPs that care about what's happening in Gaza. Maybe 10 to 15 people. The rest of them are all genocide, Labour friends of Israel, conservative friends of Israel, and the reform owned by Israel. The Liberal Democrats are slowly coming out of that. But I promise you, they'll still be the Liberal Friends of Israel when the time comes down to it. That's what they are. They are all the friends of Israel because Israel is our greatest ally. I don't know what the fuck they do for us as the greatest ally for us. I don't know what it is that they're doing for us other than bringing our country, our civil society into disrepute by getting our governments to support these fuckers. How are we part of this grand alliance of fucking destruction of humanity? How is it possible that we can sit there and watch what's happening and do nothing? I've got a broken back and I'm lying down on my back and I can't get up and go to these marches anymore. I can't go to the events that I want to. I don't know what else to do other than sit here, do these videos and rage at the fucking world and hope that someone will see this and someone will do something and maybe it'll move the needle on someone or something to say, you know what? Enough is enough. We have all the evidence now. Everything is there for you to see. Israeli soldiers told not to fight and stand down at the borders where Hamas were going to come through. Hamas came through at 6:40. They were told to stand down at 5:20 in the morning. That's an over like 50 minutes of time that they knew that something's going to happen and chose not to have anyone around to do that. That is a statement of intent by Israeli intelligence and the Golani Brigade, which is one of the foremost brigades of Israel. They were told to stand down. They wanted the 7th of October to happen. I knew that was the case because there is no way that I could see an invasion out of Gaza with guns and grenades could be a success without some kind of help in shutting down of the security of Israel. I said it at the time. I was called an idiot and I was told, no, man, you don't understand. Hamas are brilliant, are amazing at doing like battles in this. And I'm like, mate, it's not possible. It's not possible for them to be able to do that. I mean, the fact that they've done it and whatever else is great in the sense that they were able to do that, what they've done. But the reality is you can't fire guns and grenades against a helicopter gunship. And it would take 1 or 2 helicopter gunships to stop a breach. They chose not to do anything about it because they wanted what's happened. And now they've been given the currency to go and murder and depopulate Gaza. And they want to get rid of 2.3 million people. There are studies out there right now that are saying there's less than 2 million people left alive in Gaza. They've already killed nearly 340,000 people, 377,000 people. Numbers are going up to 400,000 people. But we've got no way of actually getting a census done anymore in Gaza because no one's allowed to go in there. No one from the outside is allowed to go in there. And they have taken the population of Gaza and forcing it all into the southernmost corner by the sea. Everywhere else has been declared a military zone. This is just you know, I don't know what else to say. I can't keep raving and raging like this. I'm gonna bring this to an end. Go and watch these things. Go and watch the testimonies and understand that our governments are captured. The American government is fully captured. There is no escaping the Israeli power over our governments. And I don't know who or what is going to be able to challenge them because both sides of British government, whether it's the Tories or the Conservatives, or Labour, I mean, are the same shit. They may call themselves Labour, they may call themselves Conservatives, but in the end, they're actually all Israeli. They're all Israel first politicians. That's what you're dealing with. We're dealing with people who think of Israel's best intention, or not best things for Israel over our own population. I'm going to leave it there because I've been raving for about 20 minutes. I am fuming, as you can tell, and I can say to you all happily that I want to see an end and I want to see it as quickly as possible. And I just hope that some people are left alive in Gaza because the way things are going at the moment, they're killing people every single day. Every single day, they are still killing people. And I'm still waiting for a fucking ceasefire. And I hope that it is soon. All the major displacement that's going to take place is going to take place, which is going to involve maybe 500,000 people at the end of it all dead, and the rest thrown out into the deserts of Egypt. With that said, fuck Israel and fuck the American government. To those Americans that are fighting on behalf of the people of Gaza, I fucking love you. To every single pundit and podcaster that is seeing the light and doing the right thing, I fucking love you. But to all those cunts that are sitting there supporting this genocide, normalizing it, the Ben Shapiros of this world and whatever else, I hope you get cancer. And I hope you fuck off this planet Earth quickly, because you are supporting the death of women and children all over Gaza. Good night.